Uh, if you didn't know, I have this. Is this a picture? This is not a picture. This is the real thing. But I do have some pictures. Let me pull them up. I just wanted to show you the picture first. They're right here. So are we recording? It says we're streaming. I hope everything's good. There's no more music. I'm going to go ahead and check this on my YouTube. This is the image I took just a moment ago of my project called Lines in KwaZulu-Natal. It's mostly South Africa, but Lesotho is very significant and prominent. Now, let me just double check and see if my videos show this. See, it doesn't show it. Where is it? Not streaming yet? Okay, now I'm getting nervous. Let me check another way. Okay, we're going to stop this and we're going to go back to online version and we'll check this. I don't understand because I'm not seeing. Okay, there it is. I see it now. Let's see if I'm okay. I see it now. So let me just double check and see if there's sound. It says restraint. There's sound. Great. Okay, now I can confidently show you this. Now the great thing about this is it's navigatable. Navigatable. Now before we go on, I do want to promote Zero Control. If I didn't have Anthony to install, then I wouldn't have this at all. He's the one that pointed me in the right direction. You should take a look at his videos. He just finished looking at South America and Argentina, and he was looking at Lesotho, which is what I'm going to take a quick look at again today, including this thumbnail right there. I totally recognize it. I call that the North-South Mountain, which if you north-south a little bit, he's tweaked. That mountain goes directly north-south. Now, he has plenty of videos going on and on and on. And I had some of Alaska that he pointed me in the right direction. I've definitely stolen a lot of ideas from him. And he needs more subscribers. Not a lot of views, and he deserves more. So please, Zero Control. It's youtube.com. Just search Zero Control and choose the one that says Land Before Time. And check it out, because if I didn't have Anthony pointing me in this direction, then I would not have found myself. And look at this. Look at all that work that I did. We can zoom in on one. Now, I just started this live stream, and I didn't even get myself a drink, a beverage, and it is kind of hot outside. Now, one way we can kind of get around a lot of this, as you can see, I kind of got sloppy trying to lay down some of these lines because I was in a hurry. Let me get that beverage while it clears up. But while we're waiting for that, you can see a lot of the stuff I found down there oops. See, that's not a good idea. I gotta change something. That was weird. I don't even know how that got there. But anyways, Was This Atlantis is a Facebook page. You can see it already. Facebook.com/Was This Atlantis. And if you go there, you can scroll down and you can see a few videos I did when I was in Mauritania, maybe just one, and people's comments. You can comment there. You can communicate with me there. This video is outstanding. But as you get down, look, I booked my trip. I showed that off. And before that, I've got a lot of videos that are talking about, and they're not showing up because I guess my connection's a little slower than I thought. I'll put that right by the computer. Maybe that'll help. There's a lot of videos I did later. However, if you keep going down, you'll find the ones in South Africa. Now, this is a thumbnail, but it's getting to the point. So as we zoom in here, I mean, you can see for yourself, I want to move these lines if they're in the way. I feel like that's in the way. Now, some of the lines I might show part of, you don't see it because it's connected to another part. Right there, you have the line right there. It goes right down the mountain. Let's zoom in. So what you see here is a line. I don't know how far down it goes because I haven't visited this project in a long time. But you can clearly see the line going straight down the mountain. In my opinion, that says right there, the mountain is older than the line. The line's younger. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement? We can follow it. I don't know where I followed it to before. Some of these are almost like mountain ridges. like this one. This is more than just a line, isn't it? And it looks like it's a serious mountain ridge. Now, that might be not so convincing. I don't blame you. Look at this here, though. You see the line I created in the past, and you see right there, the line does continue. Now, if I wanted to add that, I forgot how to add it. It's been such a long time. I could edit this and pull it over that. But you see how it wraps around? So these lines are in support of what Anthony showed. And by the way, there's a lot more. Look at this one. You can see it from space. Something's going on here, you know? And it's like, are those ancient ridges intelligently designed or are they natural? Sometimes it changes so much. They call this a great escarpment, but I don't see much of an escarpment. I mean, if you think about it, you've got this line here that goes down. Now you see it, something going on here. Now, these are a little exaggerated. I did it because I didn't really want to try to spend a lot of time getting every crevice, and I wanted to show the line, so I made a point not to cover up the lines. Now, these are taking a long time to refresh. Now, come on, look at this one. Now, you see other lines here. There's another one going up the side of the mountain there. So you've got these lines. I'm kind of just showing an exaggerated shape here to make you look again at this line here. What were these lines? That's what I want to find out. Now, I didn't find a lot way out here. You know, it's very little stuff. Let's see what this is. Obviously, that's kind of sloppy. I was just grabbing something. Okay, what I think this is, and I want to talk about this now. Do you see a top to this so-called, what is it, a volcano? You see these things everywhere. It's kind of funny. This one is kind of special, too, because it's got a shoreline on it, which means that there was actually water coming up to the edge here. But when I see these things down there in South Africa, I ask myself, how did they get there? Okay, these are very, very pointy. And in my opinion, I know I might sound crazy. They're ancient overburden dumping. Now, let's take a look at how high that is. How high is it? Let's be realistic. If I click right here, it says there in the bottom right corner, 1,372 meters. Now, if I go next to it and I want to go to the shoreline, right here, it says, okay, it hasn't calculated yet. Why not? I don't know. It says 1,170 meters. Now, that's the shoreline. Let me go a little farther. Now, it says here, it's even lower, a little bit lower, not much, just a little bit. And that's my thing. Okay, right there, that's 1,100 meters. So when we look at this thing, and let me click right on the top, it says 1,361 compared to 1,090. So it's only 200 meters high. It's not that high. So when you're looking at this thing, don't think that it's this big mountain. I think it's overburden dumping. I can show you outside my building a mountain that's 200 meters high that's made from mining. The question is, how old is this thing? And let's see how far across it goes, just to see the diameter. Okay, it's not even a 1,000 yards. Okay, so that's a football field, right? Oh, I'm sorry. That's 10 football fields, or seven. It's 7.5 football fields. So it's not that big, and with what I'm looking at here, I believe that it could be a little bit more. Let's see if I can find some chats. How do I get there? I'll go home first. You should see what pops up in my things. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, this is probably not monetized, so I definitely want to monetize it. There we go. Let's get that, and let's edit the video and monetize it. Let's see. Anybody chatting? I kind of messed up. I should have checked first. Nobody chatting as far as I could tell. All right, so we wanted that monetization to get going. That's the big problem here. They don't let you, like, do it right off the bat, so you've got to do it later. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, and by the way, I need to go adjust the monetization for my previous video, don't I? Because it once you get past 10 minutes, it's all adjustable. Okay, how's the name? Is that cool? Another peek at South Africa. And Lesotho. Let's go back and see if there's any chats. Welcome to my another. Oh, what's that? Okay, something's about to die. All right, looks like I've got a crazy um, chat bot. That's irritating, but I'm not gonna move it. I'll get rid of it later. I don't have time. You know what? If the chatbots can do it, the chatbots can do it. I don't know if that hurts me or helps me. I could probably share this video and stuff like that. Well, what am I doing? I don't want to be doing this. Okay, so when you go to my Was This Atlantis, okay, Was This Atlantis page, I do have a few videos on my new channel, Was This Atlantis, but some of these things that I wanted to show yesterday, I thought that was a great picture, and there's actually one more. I've shown these already, so you can go there yourself. But the South Africa stuff's a little farther south than this, the big stuff. But nah, it doesn't show everything. Let's get rid of this. Let's go back to the video, and this is what I wanted to show you. So that's the size of 7 football fields. It's in the middle of nowhere, and you can see this different color stuff. I think it's ancient overburden dumping. Someone had to get rid of all that material, and then it got eroded, and then there was some kind of a lake going on in here because you can see that shoreline. How long ago was it that water was right there in South Africa? I'd like to know. Here's another one. What's that all about? Another like plateau in the middle of this floodplain. You can see all sorts of weird stuff with the colorization here. And something that could be roads. Honestly, from what I've seen, that's not straight enough unless it's totally ancient. And maybe it is, because in my opinion, when you look at the big picture here, well, actually, that's still up in the mountains. I wanted to see that one yellow thing right there. There's a lot of weird things I circled. Can I just click that? We'll go in there. Untitled polygon. Now, why did I circle that? There's all sorts of crazy, okay, let's call it a polygon. Polygonal shapes down in, look at this. There's another one right there. There's one inside it. And they just like geology did this. I know I might seem crazy questioning all these mountain ranges, but honestly, these lines are just a little bit too, like, perhaps they did have something to do with this whole ancient alien theory. I was never an ancient alien theorist. I was never really into either with Electric Universe. However, both of them seem to be popping up in what I've been finding. And when I say that, I mean, how was the richat structure created? Look at that line right there. So what you see, look at that line right there. Now, it is not straight right there. That's pretty damn ancient looking, but it comes through. Look at that. It's a straight line, and then you've got this angle, comes through this way. It keeps going, mind you. There's the line right there. You can still see it. Now, I know that looks like, oh, no, that's natural. Well, let's move my line out of the way and see. Here, look at this line. Now, you can see a breach right there. And by the way, how wide is this thing? Is that another overburden dump, or is that a real plateau? It's just so hard to figure this stuff out. That's real small. 1.5 football fields. You know, when I was doing this side, I was just looking for pretty much anything, so I was going crazy. Here's another one. Oh, we found that already. What's this little tiny thing? Let's see. So it's like this little dribble wall. Like, they just dribbled it. Like, they made a wall, but they dribbled it when they did it. They didn't care. And then you've got this, what I call Obi dumping cone. Look at that. That just appeared. It's not a volcano. Is that a volcano? You think it looks like one? It's totally different color. That material came from someplace else, or it was processed. Look at this complex of lines I found. And you can see more than just the ones I marked. And some of them are definitely more than just naturally shaped. Too straight, too straight, too straight. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. I think it's mining. I think it's mining activity. Unfortunately, my connection is not that fast, so doing live streams is not a great thing for me. Look at that one. And you can see, now here's the crazy part. Look at underneath it. You can see these lines going underneath or through it like it was done before it existed. What's that? Sometimes they look natural. Sometimes I feel like I'm looking at something natural. But when you look at the big picture, when you see this right here, what is definitely like an erosion cove, maybe done by an ancient shoreline or maybe some type of flood event. Looks like it's pretty old too, like 100,000 more years old. You know, big. Like if we measure it, you're talking about 27 football fields across. But then that natural thing seems to be prominently ignored and covered by this one line. What do you call that? A fault line? Is that plate tectonics? It looks like a mountain ridge. It looks like a mountain ridge that got breached here by water over time. You've got this erosion pattern on one side. You've got this erosion pattern on the other. So that's a mountain. If we look at this under 2D, I call these the nodes or the nubs because of the point it creates. This node, but here, yes, because it's the top part. I can show you a lot of examples of that. You can see it going across this. When did it happen? Did it happen before or after this other line? I say it happened afterwards. Otherwise, when this was washed out, this floodplain right here would have covered that up or at least brought it down. You wouldn't be able to get this line and this line simultaneously. One had to happen before the other. Right? One had to happen before the other. No takers. Just the bot. I love the bots. Thanks, bots. Don't click that. Let me get rid of these. Let me get rid of those. We don't need that. Don't go to channel. This is all I get. This is all I get for my hard work. Well, I'm here in an undisclosed location. And I'm also letting you know that I am going to go down there and take a look for myself. I don't know how being there can do it. I don't know how being there can show it. I'm going to have to mark these. These are good lines, right? These are good lines. And there's some really other... Look at this one. Look at that one. You can see the natural erosion line. And then you see this other line going right on top of it. So here's a bunch of them. Here's a bunch of them. Look at that one. That's weird. How does that happen in North? And by the way, look at how tweaked that is. I mean, that means it could be super old. Now, this so-called Great Escarpment leaves a lot of questions. You see a bunch of stuff going on here, like they scraped it, like it was just scraped clean. I'm not about to say that's not natural, but then you've got these weird circles. How does natural geology create this? Is that a volcano? You got these lines going across it like it was just a border that was made. Like this is the part that we're doing now. Look at that line. It just curves and comes around. Is that how mountains are created? Do they really curve around like that? That looks really old and eroded. But how does a curved mountain range... Have you ever seen these circles of mountains before? You know, South Africa is very interesting. And if we go over to Lesotho, and look, I've done a lot of work here. You've got these flutes, alleyways. There's one, alleyway. And then here's another one. Probably this one, very prominent. I've got a bunch of them, right? These alleyways where they lead up to the mountains. Some up here are very interesting. This one right here is very interesting. And the reason why is obviously not natural. Okay, you've got almost a perfect rectangle here, except for this side. By the way, you've got a religious place right in the... Isn't it interesting they've got a religious place right... Okay, not really in the center. Now, I didn't cover that lineup. I showed you, and then it leads up to the mountains with the lines. You've got these lines going up the mountains, but you've got this line connecting over here to another one of these flutes. So luckily I did create this, and I really should show this research off and share the link because I want people to come see it. The Kolonyama Triangle. Check that out. It's got a totally perfect triangle here, and then of course the whole thing is triangle shaped. I think that's ancient mining. I think that's ancient mining. I think that's ancient mining. What was going on here with the parallel 90-degree mountains? Up here, there's more flutes. These flutes go around here. Look at this one. There's one here. And when I say flutes, I mean parallel mountains. Not exactly parallel, but enough that it could have been some type of a waterway or track. This is one of my favorites. I feel like I've been there before because I've checked this area out so much. Up here on the north side, because we were just inside Lesotho. And there's a bunch of stuff. One of the longest ones is here. This long road. Look at this one. So you've got this road that comes through here and then kind of disappears. So that means that whatever happened here is older than whatever happened here. Then it starts up again and goes through here, and then a mountain gets right in the way. But that's okay, because it starts up again and goes for another 40 miles, this line. You don't find things like this in natural geology. Where are we? Anybody? Nobody talking? Let me see if I can reboot. Maybe I need to reboot or refresh. So I don't have any takers. That's okay. Some type of water. I just want to see how we are on time. This thing takes too much time. Okay, so I've talked for 21 minutes. That's the only way I can figure it out. Yeah, I want to go there. Where should I go first? Help me figure this one out. There's another road. How long is that road? That's let's change it from yards to kilometers. 60 kilometers long. Okay. Now I also can start again and do this one, start new, and go from here. I know that it disappears in that area. But if you measure the whole thing, it's 100 kilometers long. Okay. Now, this area here, like I said, got washed out. You're like, what are you looking at? Well, let's go in and take a look. You can see the gaps. You can see the grooves created in these mountains by this so-called line. And there's a parallel line right next to it. Right next to it. I didn't mark that one, did I? So that's a flute or an alleyway. Now, you can see it changes to what looks more like a flattened out road. You've got these circles up there in the mountains, stone circles, maybe to hold water. This line goes along this cliff, goes down the cliff, follows the cliff edge. This sharp point is part of the road. You can see it right there. Now, the line's not exactly on top of it because I wanted it to be next to it so you can follow it. Sometimes I cover it up, sometimes I don't. This nub here, now this has been shown on a bunch of stuff. And I've seen this more than once. Now, I'm going to have it turn. These nubs are really weird. There's something I found actually around here somewhere. There was kind of like this white material. I'm beginning to think this white material is a processed coating. Look, there's two lines going side by side here. Okay. There's a third one. Now, what's the point? What are these things doing? And we got some out now. Most of this is on the there's an escarpment here, and this is right on the edge of the escarpment. So when it stopped, I assume flooding or something else removed the roads that were here. But you do have a few areas where you can see evidence of some type of an ancient line down here below the escarpment. There's the line right there. And they're wild. It's not, I wouldn't have marked it. Sorry. I wouldn't have marked it if it wasn't significant. There's another one over here. Let's take a quick look at it. Because, like I said, it's like I was going through here not expecting to find much. And then suddenly you get these weird lines. Maybe this is not much. I marked it just because of the cliff and this line right here cutting through the cliff. To me, it's like an ancient road. This little area, this is a plateau, and that's the thing. These types of ancient markings are on the tops of plateaus. They're not down in valleys. So when you look at them, you can see the ancient marks are younger than the valleys. This valley is younger than that mark. It goes right through. I wish I could remove this. Let's see if we can turn off the project. Turn off the project. Let's turn it off. See, you can see that line going right through there. And you're like, yeah, that's nothing. That's showing nothing. Well, that might be true. Maybe I'm off, but I can tell you that I've been looking at this stuff long enough to know that when it cuts through the side of a cliff like that, it's a line. There's another one over here. Now that's not showing much, but here you do see an alignment with the other side. I've shown this everywhere. I can show this in so many places, even up in northern Africa. These ancient lines going from plateau to plateau and ignoring what's below, and meaning they're as old as the top of the plateau. Ancient straight lines. So this is exciting. Let's turn it back on. Oops, there it goes. Let me turn it back to 2D, and I'll get out of there. Now, I could probably look here a little closer and maybe expand on that, especially when we look at these plateaus. But no, I like to look at what is totally obvious. Like, let's go in the middle of this bunch. And when you see this and you turn off the project, you can see those lines. You can see them as you go across there. You can see the grids of lines. Look at this one right there. And over here. And over here. It's some type of weird terraforming going on, and I believe it's more than just 12,900 years old. I think it's about 30, 40, 50,000 years old, maybe even older. And I think it supports the ancient alien theory in a way. Now, do I have evidence that aliens mine for gold? I don't. Could man have done this? I think that men with machines could have done it. This is a really good one because when you click on north-south, it goes directly north-south. This is one of my favorites. And you can see that line going on and on for miles. Let's see if there's any last-minute chatters, and I'm going to just get out of here. I just wanted to revisit South Africa, a place I intend on visiting this year. One watching? Any chatters? No chatters. Come on, let's see.
We're here.
There you are. Okay, Delia. Well, you caught me right before I'm done. Let's see how long I've been talking. So, yeah, almost a half hour. And I'm showing South Africa and Lesotho. I'll show you right now. Let me get in there. Let's get rid of the okay, the project is visible. Let's close the project and let you take a look at all the yellow when I back out of here. This is something I did like 2 years ago now. It's been a while. But as you can see, this area follows this escarpment. Goes kind of at the north side of Lesotho. And there's some signs. Let's look at this real quick. That's what I call a flute. Like somebody's climbing this mountain and dumping content, mining. This is one of my favorites because it's part of the side of the border of the country. You can see this little notch from space. Well, maybe not from space, but from Google Earth because of the border. And it shows one of these flutes I'm talking about, and it goes into the mountains. These parallel flutes, these parallel alleyways. I've been showing these long roads. I found another one that was really long. Let's measure this one. This one may have gone all the way to here, so 72 kilometers. That's the second longest. Goes right up into the mountains. This is South Africa. Okay, I was going to get a drink. I'm going to go grab it. I'll be right back. You can probably still hear me. I'm broadcasting from an undisclosed location. Location undisclosed. And it's getting a little bit hot. I'm off the grid. I'm up here looking at some beautiful mountains. Might as well, right? So there you go. Thank you, Delia, for visiting. You're my biggest fan lately. But I didn't want to talk too much longer. I did want to encourage you to sign up with Zero Control, since he's the one who enlightened me about a lot of this back in the day, like 4 years ago. So let's get it going. Alrighty, that's it. I'm done, I think. I'm out of here. Thank you so much. Delia, thanks for visiting. I'm going to see if I can... Oh, 2 thumbs up. Good. Good. Yeah, I was checking this. Actually, there's a few things I want to change. Hey, Delia, look, my art is right there. You can check that out. It's in Stig Art. I'm trying to improve my portraits. And I saw some of your technique, which I was already doing. I'm not going to talk about your technique. All right. That's it. So, Johannesburg, just south of Johannesburg is Lesotho. One of these days, I'm going to fly to Johannesburg, and then I'm going to get on a bus or an airplane and come down here and check this out for myself. I don't know. Let's see how the distance from here to here is. Probably a good 200, 300 kilometers all the way across it. 500 kilometers of activity going on here. And it's all gigantic. Like, if I go there, I don't know what I can do. I can just look at it up close, I guess, and maybe try to understand if there's any walls or if it's like a road. I've seen some. Here, let me take a look at this. Now, that's not right. Okay, yeah, if we look at Street View, we don't get a lot of intersect. Look at this point. Let's look at that one. That's nice, right? It's right there by my line. Let's take a look. And if I want to say it's directly west, that's a little low. I thought we were on a mountaintop. Well, that's interesting. Some type of is that a bell tower? What is that? Well, there's something significant there, right? I mean, I'm not sure if it's a church. Looks like a church with all the chairs lined up. So some type of a religious place. What's that over there? Looks like a silo or a dormitory. Who knows? So basically it's a factory with a church attached to it, maybe? That's interesting. Keep them occupied, right? Keep them occupied. Of course you're... Oh, whoa. What's that? Okay. So that's the... where's the church at? There it is over there. I was going to look at something. Well, it's pretty much modern day, so I don't care. Let's go out and see if we can find another spot. But do you see how this line here, and if I get in, can I see the line? You've got this ancient plateau with a line going across it. I don't know why I put it there. I don't know, something going on there, right? Is that see, now, I want to be honest, that could be modern day fencing right there. That doesn't look like one of my roads or one of my lines. I may have made a mistake. I'm not sure why I did it. Maybe there was another line I thought I was connecting. I'm not perfect at this. I wasn't perfect at this. Sorry, I'm going to get my drink that I promised myself. It's just a little lemonade. And let's see what else. Maybe I can add a little soda water in there. Sorry, I got a little distracted. So I call these things these. I see these shapes, and I want to say they're natural, but when it comes out like that, where you have almost two coming together, where's the water coming from over here? So these amphitheaters, these coves, they're all the same shape. I question them, and I wonder, especially when I see it like that, and maybe there was one more here. Like, are they doing some kind of ancient mining where they just kind of go into the side and take it away like that? I have to be honest, that's what it looks like to me. And it goes all around that area. You can see that shape. I'm not a geologist, so I might be crazy. There's also some water. It seems like there's some water connections. You can see this one, the water breached the line. This is one of my flutes where you've got an alleyway of two lines. I already showed this to you today. It's interesting to see all the natural stuff. And why does the line go out there? I'm not sure why. You know, sometimes I stretch it out a little far just because I want to try to meet other lines. Look, this is one of my nodes. Somehow the road disappeared. Oh, it looks like it got caught up with some erosion here. And you get into the flute again. Another flute. So, what was my point? There was a point. Lots to check out. Lots of stuff out here that's pretty crazy. I haven't shown you in this video anything here. But my recommendation is go check it out for yourself. There's the Machinas notch that I think represents one of these smelting pits they used to have. I call it a smelting pit. It's a place where the water gathered. It got breached. There's more than just that one. You can find another one right up here in this triangle here. It was also one of these weird smelting pits. Circular. This one has a nice isosceles triangle going into it. And what I consider a plateau where ancient roads and a shortcut lead in different directions. That plateau is one. There's another one out here that's very similar. Right down here. I think this is it right here. I could be wrong. This has a lot of stuff going on. That's not it, though. I'm not sure where that other one is. Let's go into this triangle and see. That might be a little bit of an exaggeration on my part. Anyways, last chance at some chats, and then I will. Why am I in a secret location? Well, that's a top secret reason. I have to tell you next time. Bye!